everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nidhi and you're watching my series on how to become a cabin crew. So today I wanted to answer this question for a lot of you who've been asking me, something that interviewers do ask you in the interview room, which is, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Now, this is something that can be asked in any interview room, any job application that you're applying for. But I'm going to be answering this question from a cabin crew perspective today. The answer that I'm going to be sharing with you also is applicable to other interviews that you go for. Of course, you're going to tweak it a little bit because when you're giving a cabin crew interview, it's a little bit different from giving a managerial interview or a leadership role interview. Because cabin crew interviews are very, very customer specific and customer orientated interviews. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you before we get on to the specifications. Now, as you all know that I also believe in teaching the approach, and I don't believe in memorizing answers. I always share with you, don't memorize your answers, be genuine, be creative with your answers. Of course, you need to have certain keywords, you need to have certain definition of as to how you would want to answer that question. So to understand that, let's understand why the interviewer is asking that question to you. So that's the first thing you want to understand. Why is the interviewer asking this question to you? There are two reasons why the interviewer is asking that question to you. First and foremost, obviously, is to understand whether you want to be in the aviation industry in 5 years from now. If they hire you today, if they spend so much money in training you, would you stay with them for 5 years or more? Because that's what they want you to do. The second thing why they want to know this question is because they want to know, what will you do in these 5 years staying with the airline? How would you see yourself growing with the airline? How do you see yourself performing when you're with the airline? So the answer is not just, yes, I'm going to stay with the airline. The answer is also telling them what will you do in these 5 years to make sure that you're an asset to the airline when you're employed by them. The second thing that I want to share with you guys is, I always say, whenever an interviewer is asking you questions which is very airline specific, it's always good to highlight certain things about the airline itself. So for example, if you're interviewing for Singapore Airlines, mention certain things about Singapore Airlines. Say for example, Singapore Airlines won the best airline awards last year. If you're interviewing for Qatar Airways, mention something about Qatar Airways, that it has been expanding at such an enormous rate, and people are flying so much more with Qatar Airways. It's been expanding, it's been reaching out to a lot of different destinations and things like that. So go ahead and read up a little bit on the airline and look up those specific things that you can actually talk about when you're giving the interview for the airline itself. Okay, now the third thing, which is basically to answer the question, and as I said, it's very important to know a little bit. So remember the keywords that you want to use. So go through your skill set. Find out what are some of the things that you want to do when you become a cabin crew. As you all know, it's not just about travel and having fun. It's also about delivering good customer service. It's also about learning. It's also about becoming a better person. It's also about developing your personality. Now, with that being said, I'm going to give that answer to you guys. And as I said, this is purely my answer, coming from my experience, coming from my creativity. You can take bits and pieces of it because, as I said, I don't memorize my answers. This is a very, very impromptu answer that I'm actually giving to all of you right now. So the interviewer is going to ask me this question. This is going to be my answer. If given an opportunity to be successful today in the interview, I would definitely stay with Qatar Airways or Singapore Airlines for next 5 years or more, because not only this is my dream job, I see myself growing with the airline. I do have a good amount of customer service experience where I have learned a lot of skills like how to be patient, how to provide exceptional customer service, and how to basically use your personality to be able to understand and anticipate the needs of other customers. And I would like to bring all that to Qatar Airways or Singapore Airlines and become a part of their exceptional customer service team, where not only I would get to learn, but I would also get to perform, and at the same time I would end up learning and developing as a person overall. So definitely I see myself staying with the airline, definitely I see myself growing with the airline, and I'll be really, really thankful if I would be given this opportunity today. Thank you very much. So yes, just to break that answer down for you guys, I started off by thanking them and telling them that if I get this opportunity, nothing like it, I'll be really, really elated to be part of this ever-growing team. I gave a reassurance that I don't want to be with the airline just for 5 years, but I want to be with the airline for more than 5 years because I see myself growing with the airline. I also talked about how I have previous customer service experience that I can actually bring to the airline and how I can grow into being a better personality, how I can learn, and I also stressed a little bit about how Singapore Airlines has the best customer service team, and I want to be part of that growing team. So this is one of the ways as to how you can answer that question. But of course, there are a lot of different ways. A lot of people share a lot of different styles of answering that question. And of course, it depends on your personality as well. Now, a lot of you will ask me a question and say, what about freshers who do not have any sort of customer service experience? What should they say? So I would probably not change anything in the answer. So if I don't have any customer service experience, I will probably pick up the skill sets that I have, which are some of the qualities of becoming a cabin crew. So this is how I will answer that question if I'm a fresher. If given an opportunity to be part of Qatar Airways or Singapore Airlines today, it would not only be my dream job, but I would really, really look forward to it as a career perspective, because I would definitely want to stay with the airline, not just for 5 years, but more. I have always been told that I'm a very people's person. I have good listening skills. I anticipate needs of people, and I will definitely bring all this experience to the airline. And of course, with the excellent training that the airline provides, I would definitely grow. I would become a better personality to provide the excellent customer service that the airline is known for, and grow with the airline and just prove myself every single day to be a better asset to the company. So I would be really, really thankful if I will be given that opportunity today. Thank you. So this is my take on this answer. But of course, always remember the 3 things that I tell you. Don't memorize your answers, be genuine, be creative. Everybody's personality is different. Use your personality to charm the interviewers. And of course, the third and the most important thing is, remember you have certain skill sets, use them to your advantage. When you answer questions, don't just make it a question answer session, make it an interactive session. Tell the interviewers the story, tell them about your skill sets, tell them about your experiences, just talk to them. And that's what I would recommend all of you to do, because when you're up in the air, all that you do is talk to passengers, right? And that's what you want to do in an interview as well, but of course from a professional perspective. So I really hope that you guys got some takeaway from that. But it's very, very important to understand how individually you will answer that question. So if you guys want to do that with me one-on-one, do get in touch with me. I do take personal coaching classes. You guys know where to reach out to me. My website is listed below. I will get in touch with you and we'll take it from there. And if you do like this video, do share it with your friends. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. And of course, do press the notification bell for more video updates. In the meantime, all of you out there, stay handsome, stay pretty, and I love you guys. Bye.